E aí, meu jovem, tudo certo? Aqui é o Henrique, estamos de volta com mais um vídeo aqui no canal para continuar a nossa gameplay aqui com a Edith Finch, beleza? Exatamente onde paramos no último capítulo, vamos continuar a saga aqui. Beleza? Não sei agora se eu tenho que ir direto aqui ou tenho que subir aqui. Ver se dá pra subir aqui. Tá. Mas tá trancado ali. Bom, vamos dar uma olhada aqui antes então. Não quebra.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Quarto cheio de pinturas. Ah, dá pra abrir a janela ali. Olha, temos pés. Então vamos entrar, né? Vamos ver o que a gente acha aqui dentro. Bom, não tem mais nada para investigar, então vamos puxar isso aqui. E vamos subir. Milton, 1992.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Pincel mágico. Espera aí. Legal isso, né? Os desenhos antigamente eram feitos assim. Imagina o trabalho que dava para fazer isso. Acabou.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Desaparecido. O legal é que o game, a cada cena, cada descoberta, ele salva.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Acho que agora não temos mais nada aqui dentro. Pela porta não dá pra sair, então vamos ter que sair pela janela.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Podia fechar a janela, né? Vai ficar aberta agora. Tá, então agora a gente vai subir.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Certo. Então entramos por aqui no quarto do Lewis. Não. Vai de novo. Aí, mocinho.
Lewis's room smelled very,
Não,
very
não é pra sair.
familiar.
Volta, volta, volta.
That part of him lived on.
Carai, não consegui ler o que ela disse. Que rachada, mano. Eu queria olhar pros lados ali, ela acabou voltando. Olha aí. Wonderland Turbo. Uma cópia do PlayStation 1. Joguei muito na época do Play 1. O rapaz adorava um narguilé aí, ó. Gostava de fazer fumaça.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
O rapaz era dependente químico, é.
He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Não, joga pra lá, não. Isso.
wander.
Sua mente começou a ficar sem rumo.
I asked him to describe it.
Agora
He said he started small.
Agora a gente tem que percorrer o caminho aqui,
Imagining a labyrinth.
imaginando um labirinto. Tá.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved.
Tá complicado isso aqui, tem que cortar os peixes e andar ao mesmo tempo.
Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. but he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Com uma mão tô controlando os peixes e com a outra controlando aqui.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Cara, que foda isso aqui. Esqueci até de falar.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Ai, 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 agora vamos ter que navegar.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Nova Louisville.
St. Louis.
Jogo peixe.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Já
In
peguei o
Louisville,
jeito aqui.
he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her electric sitar.
Agora temos que fazer música. Caralho.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
E agora já não dá para enxergar mais aonde corta o peixe.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Foda isso aqui.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Aê, até que enfim. Voltamos à realidade. Nada aqui.
Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
O personagem podia correr nesse game, porque tá sempre
He began
andando.
to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Não temos que falar com ele. Aqui não passa. Aqui também não. Pera aí, vamos ter que descobrir aonde tem que ir agora. Aqui embaixo, será? Não. E agora, mano? Será que é isso
I
aqui?
still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
É isso aqui mesmo.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
A trilha sonora desse game tá show. Boa demais.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting me. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Tá indo pra
Bend down his
guilhotina.
head.
Vou te cortar a cabeça aí, mano.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Caraca, mano, que história, hein?
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
História bizarra e difícil controlar os dois ali ao mesmo tempo. Controlar o trabalho dos peixes e jogar com o personagem na outra.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Quem nunca, né? No começo, no aprendizado, tu morre pra garai. Deixa eu ver se não tem mais nada aqui. Não, é isso aqui agora.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Aqui depois eu acho que dá pra descer. Dá pra pular lá embaixo. Mas vamos subir
I'm not sure
primeiro.
if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Que vista bonita, hein?
I wish we'd stayed.
Baita
But I
casa.
understand why we left.
Grande e bagunçada. E dá pra subir mais. Vamos investigar primeiro aqui
My mom
embaixo.
ended up leaving everything behind.
Minha acabou deixando tudo pra trás. Minha quem? Mamãe?
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Caraca. Quartinho bonito, hein? Isso aqui era o ideal pra transformar numa sala de jogos, hein, mano? Quem nunca queria, ou quem nunca quis ter um lugar assim?
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
A véia era teimosa. Tá, eu acho que é pra cá então que tem aqui.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories! I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Sinistro.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
E vamos para mais uma história. Vamos ver se é por aqui que
There'd been
temos
an
que ir.
earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Nós vamos ter que andar até aquela casa lá.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Ah, não me fala isso.
I got turned around.
Meu Deus, e agora?
For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
Eu acho que é só andar em linha reta aqui.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Aê, chegamos.
Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but
E rasgou.
Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Deixaram a véia sozinha. Coitado.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Caraca, mano, a Edith Finch já morreu então. Shirley Dallas. Uma história baseada em fatos reais, será? E então chegamos no fim do game, mano. Cara, gostei muito do jogo. Demais, história bem bacana. A mecânica do jogo também muito boa. De mexer com o personagem, abrir as coisas, fechar os livros. As passagens secretas. A história, enfim. Curti bastante. A única coisa só que eu não achei legal no game é que ela andava muito devagar. Isso eles poderiam ter feito ela andar um pouquinho mais rápido de repente. Mas no mais o game tá de parabéns. É isso aí então, mano. Se curtiu aí o game, a gameplay, deixa um like aí no vídeo para ajudar na divulgação, beleza? Se não for inscrito, se inscreve aí no canal para fazer parte aí. Tranquilo? Então vou indo nessa. Até o próximo vídeo em breve no canal. Valeu, falou! Eu vou deixar rolando os créditos aqui, se você quiser assistir, beleza? Fique à vontade aí.